Okay, so I would like to show you something, but before that, I have got some questions. The question is about two people, two souls, which are in your residence. So many people are staying in the hostel, so many people are staying outside the university. But I have got a question, and the question is about two souls which are having enormous amount of expectations about their sons and daughters. I'm talking about your parents. What promise you have made to your parents before you joined Bharathiar University as a PG student? What is the promise that you have given to your parents? I don't have any promise, Mr. Manikandan. They just asked me to join and I have joined PG. That's it. Finish. No. In university, we will not have PG students who are just coming to time pass. In university, we will have PG students who are having enormous amount of career plan. So my question to you is, every day morning, what is that single thing that drives you towards university? What is that single thing that pushes you towards coming to School of Commerce? What is the promise you have made to your parents? Think about that. Because 21st century students have got a very big problem, and the problem is enormous amount of negative thinking and negative attitude. How many people accept what I'm saying? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Thank you. Enormous amount of negative energy and enormous amount of negative thinking. That is what is making people really feeling so bad about themselves. So we are going to see a couple of strategies. I'm a psychologist. I'll be giving you some psychological therapies for fighting your negative attitude, and you will be living 2 years like a heaven in this particular university. So we are going to speak about some roles, techniques, and kinds of therapies that we are going to use in our normal life for identifying the biggest enemy that is living within us. Commerce industry is getting back. In 1990s and in the early 2000s, commerce industry was huge. Banking industry and commerce industry was huge. But in 2005, 2006, because of the IT's dominance, commerce industry again went back to the turmoil. But right now, my dear friends, since the government has changed, now commerce industry is back to the shape again. So, next 2 years, if you are becoming an MBA, MCOM graduate or any other kind of streams of graduate, I was given to understand that there are 3 or 4 streams out here. MCOM, FA and plenty of other things. So if you'd like to become an engineer, if you'd like to become a doctor, if you'd like to become a commerce graduate, or if you'd like to become a doctorate, whoever you are, the first and foremost thing is that you need to have an understanding about 2 things. Understanding about the industry in which you are going to work in the future, and the understanding about the temple that you have inside. And the temple, what I mean is your sense of skills and strengths. Your sense of skills and strengths are always going to be disturbed by plenty of adversities. So the first adversity is the negative thinking that youngster gets. I'll give you a little statistics before I start the presentation. Take 3 categories of people. Category number 1. Age group from 5 to 15. 5 வயசுலேருந்து 15 வயசு வரைக்கும் இருக்கிற அந்த பசங்க. From 5 to 10 they are kids, and from 10 to 15 they are adolescent people. Those people, they get almost about 12,000 thoughts in a day. Senior citizens, 60 to 65, 60, 70 and above, those people get 10,000 thoughts in a day. Third category, middle-aged people, 35, 40, 45, those people get 25,000 thoughts in a day. That is an age group, the 4th group. That age group is between 18 to 31. This age group is a very, very trivial age group. Exclusively 18 to 27 is a very challenging age group. These people, my dear friends, if they are awake for 14 hours in a day, they get 68,000 thoughts in a day. 68,000 thoughts. Another interesting statistic is that out of those 68,000 thoughts, 0.1% is positive. Rest, negative. I did not say this. American Medical Association conducts a research and that says that. What a dangerous kind of a condition. One day, 68,000 thoughts as regular occurrence, and out of that, only 0.1% is positive, is rest negative. And just imagine how is the living style of that particular youngster for a week's time. In a week, how many thoughts the person has got, and how much percentage of positive and how much percentage of negative inclinations. So there is something that is happening inside our mind factory that is not allowing us to really think on a positive way. You go to an MCOM first year student and you ask him or her, what are you going to do after 2 years? I don't know. See, first of all, I'll just come to this university, I have to set myself down, and only then I have to think about all that. If you are belonging to this category, well, you are committing a mistake. You got to have a plan before you start your PG. UG la nam eppadi eluduttom, that's a different story altogether. In schooling and UG, we will have a little bit of a thing. That is, we will be majoring the minor things and minoring the major things. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is a difference, my dear boys and girls. Majoring the minor things and minoring the major things. In UG and school life, we will be majoring the minor things. But when you come to the PG, you are supposed to be the second category. You have to minor even, you have to mention even the tiny things. Small assignment that you are going to submit in the department, that should be given a lot of importance. The project that you are going to submit, that should be given a lot of importance. So we should be in the second category of measuring even tiny things. But there is a bridge. We are still in this UG mentality. What are we going to do from getting ourselves out of that UG mentality to PG mentality? That's what I'm going to discuss. So how many people are interested to know about that secret? Raise your hands and say yes. Alright, thank you. So just give me 1 minute time and set up the projector and we will start. All of you are hearing what I'm saying? The mic, is it audible? From where you are to where you want to be. From point A to point B. There is a word called as maverick in psychology. Maverick means a person who understands changes. Maverick means a person who knows what he wants in life. A person who really knows where the life is going to take him. So I want you to be a maverick now that you have entered into PG department. Because maverick is just like a soldier. He's like a warrior. Maverick does not sit in a corner and cry. Maverick does not say that I'm homesick. Maverick does not say that I want to see my mom and dad because I'm very much distanced. And Maverick does not say that I don't know what I'm going to do after my MCOM, after my PG. He's a person who clearly knows what he wants in life. And he's a person who clearly knows what are his strengths and skills. The biggest objective of this School of Commerce and the biggest objective of you is to become yourselves as mavericks after the end of these 2 years. But still, my dear friends, a maverick will have a couple of problems. Now, these are some of the problems of maverick. I want you to help this maverick. Look at these problems. Any person, if he calls himself as a maverick, any person, if he calls himself as an ordinary person, a maverick a soldier, a warrior, you have got a couple of problems in your life. Financial problems, confidence problems, people don't like you, interpersonal problems, failures in profession, goals problem, stress problem, low self-esteem, low self-motivation, negative attitude. I told you about negative attitude, right? So negative attitude and fear of failure. Tell me, just answer my question. As a PG student right now, what are all the fears and what are all the problems you are having at this point of time? In the time, now that you are a first year PG student, what are the problems that you have in your mind? I have got everything. No, you can't say that. You don't have everything. You don't have financial problem right now. That's your mom and dad's business, right? But what about the major problems that you are having right now? Confidence lapse. Smart. Good. Point number 1. And then? Goal problems. Fine. Very good. You are in proper tuning. I think the problems are easier. Fear of failure. Say that. That's the biggest thing. These 4 things, my dear friends. Fear of failure, negative thinking, negative attitude, confidence lapse, and goals problems, as you rightly mentioned. These are the 4 major kind of problems that any PG student will have. Not only a PG student, a person who starts a business, he will have the same. A person who steps into the college life for the first time in his life, he will have the same. So I want you to clearly understand that these problems are very, very common to the other people. The meaning that you give to the problem and the emotional attachment that you are giving to that particular problem, that's what is making your life as a turmoil. ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமுக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு நீங்க மீனிங் கொடுக்குறீங்க, அதுக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு இன்டென்சிட்டி தீவிரம் நீங்க கொடுக்குறீங்கிறத பொறுத்து தான் உங்க லைஃப் அமையும். So as a PG student, I think that's this first year days. It's in the Bharathiar, it is a very, very serious kind of days because I miss my UG days. I was in a college where I was enjoying with my friends, but right now I'm into a university. I'm not having my friends. I'm missing my friends. I'm missing my parents. In the way, so many people will come up with lots of excuses immediately after they join PG. I was like that. When I was in a first year MBA student way back in 2014 years back, I was having all these problems. I was having all these problems, except the financial problems. I was having all these problems. I was not as strong as you. You are 21st century students. I was not a 21st century student. And people were worse. I was good in communication skills, people used to say. But there are my classmates who did not have any sort of communication skills. They were just pure academic monsters. 90% vaangirundanga, they did not have any communication skills. And they were having even more worse situation than me. So now, give me an answer. How can you get out of these problems? You're having these problems, and how can you get out of this? That is where I would like to give you the first technique, the first psychological technique. It's called as psychoanalysis. How many people have heard of the name Sigmund Freud, Dr. Sigmund Freud? Father of psychology. There is a conflict. Sigmund Freud is not father of psychology, but many people say Sigmund Freud is father of psychology. But I like that guy. He came up with a concept called a psychoanalytic theory. And the psychoanalytic theory is since you are born till 5 years, you are just an ordinary person. You're just an ordinary girl, you're just an ordinary boy. But beyond 5 years, there are two other people. No, control. You don't have any control. These two people will be born immediately after you become 5-year-old kid. And these two people's name are ID and super ego. Remember this concept? The concept of anti teachers training is so the scholars must be knowing ID, ego, super ego, psychoanalytic theory, right? So ID means, in French expression, ID means evil. You can't destroy that particular evil at all. Super ego is the angel, the God that is within. So Dr. Freud says that you are with an undestroyable evil, and you are also with undestroyable almighty power. So when you are having these two people inside you, you have a proper control. I'll show you a video. It's a 1978 documentary video. Look at this. This is what is the most important point that you need to know. The video is not very clear because it's 1978 model. Now look at that. You are seeing a person out here, and this person's name is David. Okay, right? And you are seeing this particular person whose name is ID, the red person, evil person. And you are seeing a white person out here, and that person's name is super ego. Now, at this moment, you have these two people inside. Your ID is scolding you. So he's scolding. Your super ego is praising you. Thank you. You go all the empathy and will use because this ID's main duty and responsibility is to make you think negative. He makes you think lots of bad things. For assignment, fail idea. MCOM flying colors question mark mind idea. Work inauguration negative think an youngster who is able to control this ID will become a leader. Period. Finish. I repeat, an youngster who is able to control this ID voice will definitely become a leader in the future. All the leaders that you are seeing, you are having role models in your mind. Who are those people? Those people are normal people. They are breathing the same air that we are breathing. They are eating the same food that we are eating. They are also sleeping 8 hours that we are sleeping. But they are different. They are called as leaders, and we are not called as leaders. What is the difference between them and us? The only one difference between them and us is that those people were able to clarify and they were able to control this ID voice. Because this ID guy is a very dangerous person. See, he always is restless. He's restless. He's dancing like an eagle. And he's trying to negatively mesmerize you. Every time he negatively mesmerizes you. But whereas, on the contrary, on the flip side of the coin, if you see the other persons by name super ego, this person is very calm, very composed. Right? உங்களுடைய semi processed உருவம் தான் இந்த ஐடி. உங்களுடைய completely processed உருவம் தான் இந்த super ego. Your parents, your teachers are wanting you to be like super egos. But your inner consciousness is making you as an ID. நீங்க ஒரு உருப்படியான ஒரு வேலையை செய்யணும்னு நினைக்கும் போது you are actually listening to super ego's voice. But if you are deviating yourself from a normal kind of a situation, you are actually listening to the ID's voice. When you are getting angry, when you are getting jealous of somebody else's growth, when you are having inferior complex, when you are crying because of sorrow, when you are fearing, all these are the roles of ID. And in the worship, you have been holding ID very tight with you like a twin brother and twin sister, and you have been going. And I want you to release it. I want you to release it. Now that you have stepped into PG, I want you to release it. Remember, I started with negative attitude, the negative energy that youngsters are having. If you would like to get out of the negative energy, I want you to release this guy, this red guy, and I want you to hold this white guy. Super ego. Super ego is maximum thinking. It's maximum leadership-oriented aspirations. Super ego is all about thinking positive. Super ego is all about thinking Sufficiency motivation, whereas ID is all about deficiency motivation. Do you understand the difference? Deficiency motivation and sufficiency motivation. Superego thinks about sufficiency motivation. When you are having a particular assignment, superego says, go for it. Either you fail or just go for it. Either president or just try it. Superego says. ID says, don't listen to that stupid. Listen to me. What do you have to do? Where am I safe? Either risk it. Different order of this. Keep 10th standard there and so that's what just don't kick yourself. Just get out. These are all the voices. And we are all slaves of these voices. This not only happens for you, my dear boys and girls, it happens for everybody. A businessman is struggling this every day. A professor is struggling every day. I want to make these guys pass. I want to make these guys understand the concept. So it is a big challenge for a professor. Professors know this. A very big entrepreneur knows this. A school kid has it. But a school kid is very, very stronger. A school kid is ego. We ego. The college is ego. I call a person to come over here in front of the head of School of Commerce. I ask the person to hold the mic and speak. That person is backyard. What is the reason for the person to backward from the challenge of coming here to the stage and holding the mic and speak? I'll give you 3 choices. Choose the best answer. Choice number 1, the person does not have talents, does not have strengths, does not have skills. Choice 2, if I go and commit a mistake, people will laugh at me, so my image will be tarnished. Choice 3, no, I had past experiences, choice number 4, none of them. Choose the best answer. Choice 1, 2, 3, 4.
Choice number 2.
Choice 2, smart, you're right. And what is choice 2? I don't want people to laugh at me. And what is that, my dear friends? That's the ego point. That's the ego. Ego is a full form. Now, full form is edge God out. If you have ego, even God will be going out. This is a nasty place, I don't want to be here. Even God will be going out. So the first and foremost step for killing this ID is to shun your ego and forget your ego and push yourself during challenging situations. You will be having lots of challenging situations these 2 years. You'll be having lots of people contacting you. You'll be having lots of assignments. You'll be having lots and lots of workload. And during those times, I want you to shun your ego and I want you to get into that challenge. Now, let us see an example. So as I told you, this is superego and this is ID. Now let us see an example. Look at this. Now this guy David is speaking to his boss. Alright, boss kita avar pesittu irukkaru. And boss is scolding for some reason. David panna edho or tappukku boss vandu avana thittittu irukkaru. And these 2 guys are present at that point of time. My ID and superego are very near right now. Okay, and if they say that you're going to face on the previous written, I immediate speech cut and I'm listening to ID's voice. No. Even if it is 45 minutes, give your best. These people should not forget your speech, and these people should not forget whatever you say. Now, if I try that, then I'm listening to whose voice? Superego's voice. Okay, right? நான் இந்த மாதிரி கேள்வி கேட்டப்போ இல்லை மெதுவாக சொல்லு ஆன்சர் சொல்லாத மெதுவாக சொல்லி யாரும் பார்த்துவாங்க அப்படின்னு ஐடியா சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லை அவர் கேட்கறாரு சத்தமாக சொன்னீங்க அதை பற்றி தானே பேசிட்டு இருக்க நம்ம சத்தமாக சொல்லணும்னு சொன்னீங்க தட்ஸ் சூப்பரிகோஸ் வாய்ஸ் which voice would like to listen? Okay, so now there is a conversation between the boss and Mr. David, and what happens is that the boss is scolding without investigating properly. அவங்ககிட்ட தப்பே கிடையாது but he is getting scolded. But right now Mr. David is trying to explain that, sir, I am not at fault. Please, நான் அந்த தப்பு பண்ணேன்னு சொல்ல வரும்போது அவன் ஃபேஸ்ல வந்து ஒரு சேஞ்ச் நீங்க பார்ப்பீங்க. You will suddenly discover a change on David's face when he is trying to explain about his condition. Look at that. There you go. Now there is a change. The change is because of this person. Because the person says, அவன் யாரும் அவனை திட்டுறது break his head. அவன் மண்டே உடைச்சு யோசிக்காத just break his head. Who the hell is he to scold you? உண்மையில தப்பே கிடையாது அதனால எப்படி ஒன்று பேசலாம் அப்படிங்கிறப்போ ஒழுங்கா பணிமா பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம் immediately he gets on ruffled and violent thoughts. Okay, this is a very normal situation, my dear friends, and there one particular person is demolished and he is being destroyed by this stupid super ego. Stupid ID ego. But there are super ego. You know what he does? When he is trying to destroy, immediately super ego stops. No, you are supposed to respect your boss. You're supposed to respect the senior. He's like your father, you are supposed to respect him. Okay, you don't have any mistake, but still you are supposed to respect him. Still you are supposed to listen to him. Silence.
Say to him that, apologize to him, and then come across. Don't argue with him. That's what the superego says. Or an original student and girls or original professional, if you say, as ID Solramari, I will speak back and try to get into a violent mode. Listen to your own voice and try to really give a proper level of respect to the person. Choice 1 or choice 2? Choice 2. Good. நீங்க ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் தான் கண்டிப்பா அப்படிதான் பண்ணுவீங்க. எத்தனை பேர் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? ரிமெம்பர் யுவர் யூத் டேஸ், உங்க ஹெச்ஓடி தேவையில்லாம உங்களை திட்டிருப்பாங்க. அந்த டைம்ல ஹெச்ஓடி என்ன நீங்க மர்டர் பண்ணீங்க. Just listening. And when your dad or mom or really is coddling you for some no reason, you argued for some time, அதுக்கப்புறம் fine, okay. அப்பா தானே அம்மா தானே சொல்லிட்டு போட்டோம் அப்படின்னு. And that point of time you are using superego. Cooperative, you were using ID, but at that point of time you change yourself into superego. Similarly, when you are going for a particular task and when you are trying to really work, you are supposed to do the same. Now look at David. What happens is that he listens to superego, but still the ID is not leaving him. Now he wanted to speak back. Look at the change. He wanted to speak back. பேசலாம் அப்படினா அந்த கோவத்துல பேச ஆரம்பிக்கும். Now he stops. Okay. And then he suppresses himself and he says that, sorry sir, இதுக்கு மேல இந்த மாதிரி நடக்காம நான் பாத்துக்கிறேன். Thank you for letting me explain. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு he comes out. So, this is called as transformational vocabulary in psychology. We call it as TV. Transformation அப்படிங்கிற வார்த்தைக்கு அர்த்தம். Can someone tell me what is the meaning of the word transformation? Transformation, changing from negative to positive. Choice 1. Transformation is converting ourselves into proper behaving person. Transformation, choice 3. It's not about converting, it's not about thinking positive, but it is all over changing ourselves in a particular moment from good to bad or from bad to good. Which choice? Choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. Choice 3? Choice 3? Choice 3, I will get it, but choice 2. Why do you change? Is it choice 3? You have to stand. Yes, it is choice 3. Is it choice 3? You're right, it's choice 3 actually speaking. So choice 3 is transforming yourself from bad to good in an instantaneous moment. Vocabulary அப்படிங்கிற வார்த்தைகள் நான் சொன்னேன். So transformation vocabulary அப்படின்னா you are supposed to do lots of speaking inside you for changing yourself. Here David does the transformation vocabulary by virtue of listening to superego and by virtue of not listening to the I. Okay, right? So you are like this with voice and this. You're just similar like this, and you're always having this guy and this guy along with you. Whose voice you are going to listen? In the session, start it as an experiment and do this for the next 10 days. If it will work out, continue doing this. If it is not working out, any say forget it. Just forget everything. Forget everything. When you are working towards a particular task, listen to what your inner voice says. Listen to what your inner voice says. You will be able to complete it. Go for it. அப்படின்னு உங்க இன்னர் வாய்ஸ் சொல்லுதா இல்ல நோ இது நம்ம ட்ரை பண்ணியிருக்கோம் முன்ன மாதிரி இது இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நிறைய எக்ஸ்கியூஸை கொண்டு வந்து உங்களால் செய்ய முடியாத லெவலுக்கு உங்க இன்னர் வாய்ஸ் உங்களை ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணும். You have to listen to that. If your inner voice is forcing you and if it is holding you back from doing that, I think you are a patient. You are a psychological patient because you are having your strengths, you are having your skills, you are having your talents, but you have not discovered it. But strengths, skills and talents are என்னன்னே தெரியாது. But தைரியமா நான் ட்ரை பண்ணி பார்க்கறேன். தோத்தாலும் பரவாயில்லை. If you are going towards it, I think you are a very good, growing, emerging leader. How many people follow what I am talking about? Raise hands. Do you understand what I am saying? Yeah. Thank you. Put down your hands. So this is my first technique I am giving to you. Every single moment, whenever you are having a challenging situation, always orient towards listen to your superego. But that's not easy because superego speaks with a whispery voice. ID speaks with a monstrous voice. அப்ப நேச்சுரலா நம்ம யார் பேச்சை லிசன் பண்ணுவோம்? ID's voice. 20 வருஷமா உங்க வாழ்க்கை நீங்க இப்படி தான் ஓடிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. That's good news, right? 20 years during the school, during the UG, you were like this. யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. நீங்க 7th standard, 8th standard படிக்கும்போது இந்த விஷயத்தை நான் சொல்லியிருந்தேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. Right now you are altogether a different person. Different person. பரவாயில்ல, it's okay. It's always at least late than never. இப்போ அது உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. That is why I have started visiting more schools today. இப்போல்லாம் வந்து நான் அதிகமாக ஸ்கூல்ஸுக்கு போகிறதுக்கு மெயின் காரணம். When Sabri was a UG student, I was not having this video clip. இந்த வீடியோ கிளிப் அப்போ நான் PhDக்கு நான் கேதர் பண்ண மாதிரி நான் கேதர் பண்ணல. If I had shown this to Shabri and Shobana when they were students, they would have been even more better. Okay, right? So இப்போ அவங்களுக்கு அது தெரியும். Fine, at least now they are knowing this. So I want you to, the first and foremost technique I want you to give is always use transformation vocabulary, listen to superego and eliminate the I. But you are going to be with these two people till your last breath. நம்ம சாகர வரைக்கும் இவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் நம்ம கூடவே தான் இருப்பாங்க. But how we are balancing between these two people, that's our smartness. அது நம்மளுடைய smartness, அது நம்ம choice. So you're always going to be like this. You are going to stand like this, and these mesmerism will be always happening. And you will be always having these two gentlemen at the back end. So are you going to listen to him or are you going to listen to him? It's about your choice. The professors here, all the established professors in the university, those people were the masters of listening to this particular person whenever they were youngsters. Seriously. That's why they are called as the eloquent learned professors. All the industrialists you are seeing, Chanda Kochar. Who is Chanda Kochar, my dear boys and girls? Mrs. Chanda Kochar from Kerala. ICICI Bank? ICICI Bank? Okay, what is she in ICICI? CEO. Are you sure she's a CEO? Okay, she's right. ICICI Bank CEO. One stupendous point that Mrs. Chanda did was, after, who was before Chanda Kochar? It was K.V. Kamath, right? So K.V. Kamath was the Chief Executive Officer of ICICI Bank. After Mr. K.V. Kamath stepped down as a CEO and she took a charge, in one day, she made 3 lakh customers join ICICI Bank all over India. Ore naal, she booked profits by making 3 lakh customers join ICICI Bank as SB holders all over India. When she steps into a particular domain, if she has been listening to this voice, do you really think she would have been able to capture 3 lakh customers? No, not in a single chance. But she was listening to, she was like a lady like you, right? So the same person, human being human. So she was also having the same kind of a tenacity, but it was a choice for her to listen to the super ego. Likewise, I want you to listen to the super ego. Do you understand? Right? If you try this, if you change your life, you're going to become wonderful professionals. You're becoming a very good father in the future, very good mother in the future. You're definitely going to become a wonderful citizen of India, right? Because I am enjoying this process. I am using this process. And I have got lots of results. And the results in our path, this is my first and foremost technique I am giving to you in this short course. Okay, right? Now let us move on to the second one. In 1981, there was a very big businessman in Australia called as Morris Goodman. Morris Goodman was a steel man. He was producing steels in Australia. One day when Morris Goodman was traveling from Australia to US, what was happening is that the flight's engine got problematic and the flight got crashed. So many people died in that accident, except Morris Goodman. I'll show you the document. Now look at this. This is Mr. Morris Goodman's story. So the plane flies, it was in March 10th, 1981. The plane flies, and then one fine day, what happens is that on the day the plane crashed. The plane crashed and so many people died. And what happened was Morris Goodman was rushed to the intensive care unit hospital. And so many people were suspecting his health condition that he will die. So he was loaded with lots of biofeedback equipment all over his body. Spinal cord was crushed, his vertebrae was crushed, and it was just a soul. So the doctors were examining Morris Goodman's entire medical history. The nurses were also examining, and even the doctor was not able to see him properly. But the doctor concluded that Morris Goodman will be a vegetable all over his life, a coma stage patient. He can only blink his eyes. So the doctor finishes the report that it is a coma stage case. But that's what is the picture that Morris Goodman's, the doctors saw. Doctors பார்த்த picture. அதாவது நீ வந்து vegetable இருப்ப நீ வந்து ஒரு what to say, a kind of a coma stage patient. But Mr. Goodman saw a different picture. He indicated to the nurse that he wanted to write a particular statement in a notepad. And the statement was this. What is the statement? I will walk out by Christmas. When did the accident happen? In which month? March, right? So there's going to be 7 or 8 months in between. And Morris Goodman says that I will walk out by Christmas. No, the doctors have said that you will be a vegetable, you will be a coma stage. No, I will be walking out by Christmas. Listening to super ego, right? Now do you understand? He's not listening to I. I will say that no, doctors said that you are going to be a coma stage patient, so it is not going to be possible. But his super ego says that no, I will be walking out by Christmas. Even the nurse, when she writes this on a notepad, she even laughs. How is it going to be possible? But that's where you are supposed to understand the willpower of Morris Goodman. And ever since this particular statement was written in a notepad, he was always looking into this mind screening as if he is walking very handsomely. இப்படி எழுத ஆரம்பிச்சதுலேருந்து மார்க்ஸ் குட்மேன் பண்ண ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்னன்னு சொல்லி கேட்டீங்கன்னா, he was employing his mind towards this picture. See, அந்த ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் விட்டு ரொம்ப ஹேண்ட்ஸமாக நடந்து போகிற மாதிரி அவருடைய மைண்டில் he was visualizing. இந்த யூனிவர்சிட்டி விட்டு நீங்கள் எப்படி நடந்து போக போகிறீங்க? How are you going to walk out of this university, friends? Are you going to walk out as an established commerce graduate? Or are you seeing a picture that you are going to walk out of the university with tears? Are you going to walk out of the university stating that the market is so dull, I'm not going to get a job? Are you going to walk out of this university stating that the market is very adverse? In 2014 when I joined MCOM it was different, in 2016 it is different. I want you to have a clear-cut picture as Maris Goodman has right now. He was having a very, very picture-perfect picture, and that picture was walk out of the hospital as handsome as you can. Okay, the doctor